In the dry, sun-scorched lands where grasses rustle in the wind and the earth is cracked with age, there lives a tiny but tireless creature, Messor structor. She's often called the harvester ant, and the name suits her well, for that is her life's calling, to gather seeds, to store them, to prepare for a future she may never see. Beneath the soil, far from the light of day, she and her kin build vast underground halls. There are tunnels and chambers, some filled with dry grain, carefully chosen and stored so it will never sprout. This isn't agriculture, it's preservation. She's a keeper of granaries, a steward of the harvest. She does not live alone. A single colony can host thousands, small workers, broad-headed soldiers, and a queen, or even several queens, the silent mothers of generations. Among them there is no chaos. Each has a place, a task. Their world is built on patience and silent cooperation. Messor structor prefers dry, open spaces, steppes, gravel plains, sandy soils. She avoids excess moisture, seeks warmth and solitude. Her days are filled with quiet industry, collecting seeds, digging tunnels, tending to brood. Even her battles are quiet, skirmishes at the nest's edge, repelling invaders with silent resolve. In captivity, inside glass formicariums, she continues her routine undisturbed. She does not crave attention, just a supply of seeds and a dry chamber. And in return, she gives a window into a world of order and purpose. No hurry, no waste, no restlessness. And yet, even now, scientists are unsure whether Messor structor is a single species or a hidden family of many, so alike they blend into one name. But for her, such questions do not matter. She goes on. She gathers. She builds. Quietly. Unseen. Perfectly. She works not for glory, nor for gain. There are no monuments to her toil, no songs sung of her in the winds that sweep across the plains. And yet, her legacy is etched into the soil itself, in the quiet architecture of her nest, in the careful rhythm of her days. Each ant, though small, is a gear in a living machine. When one stumbles, another takes her place. No voice commands, yet all understand. A piece of husk is passed from one to another with purpose. A trail is followed, not by sight, but by scent and memory. If danger comes, the colony shifts as one, closing entrances, preparing soldiers, evacuating the precious brood. Time flows differently in their world. A single queen, tucked deep in the nest, may live for decades. Her daughters, the workers, live shorter lives, but they do not fear death. From the moment they hatch, they labor, not with thought of reward, but because that is what they are meant to do. It is not resignation. It is clarity. And when the seasons turn and cold winds begin to blow, Messor structor retreats. The nest quiets. Activity slows. Inside their sealed chambers, they wait, sustained by the grain they have gathered. Their patience is immense. Their endurance, remarkable. There is no waste in their society. No chaos. No ambition, no betrayal. Just purpose, pure and undistracted. In their silence, there is wisdom. In their order, a lesson. Many overlook her. She does not shine like the butterfly, nor sting like the wasp. But in the long story of the earth, she is one of its quiet keepers, a sower of order, a guardian of balance. And so she continues, across centuries and borders, through deserts and farmlands, beneath feet that never notice her passing. Messor structor, a humble harvester whose kingdom lies not in conquest, but in calm. In her world, time is measured not by clocks, but by the sun's warmth on the soil, the ripening of seeds, the scent of rain carried from afar. No bells toll for the beginning of her labor, no voices announce its end. She wakes with the light and rests when the colony does. And even in rest, the nest breathes and pulses, a living rhythm, ancient and unbroken. As spring returns, the workers once more emerge, cautious at first. They test the wind, sample the air, seek out fallen seeds. They follow invisible trails laid months before, as if memory itself were stitched into the land. Some carry burdens twice their size. Others scout. Some guard. All move with a patience we, in our hurried lives, have long forgotten. Above ground, they appear as a simple line of dark shapes against the dust. But beneath, there lies a structure more complex than many cities we know. Tunnels that twist, chambers that serve each need. Nurseries, food stores, resting spaces, and waste zones, all kept in quiet balance. There is beauty in such simplicity, in the way they cooperate without command, thrive without pride, defend without hate. They do not seek more than they need. They do not hoard for power. Their strength lies in restraint, and in the certainty that each one, no matter how small, matters. And should the nest fall, to flood, to fire, to time, they begin again. A single queen, taking flight, may drift on a warm summer wind, land far away, and carve the first chamber in new earth. Around her will gather the first workers. Slowly, steadily, she will raise a nation from silence. This is the story of Messor structor, a quiet builder, a tireless gatherer, a creature not of war or wonder, but of unyielding order and calm. Her world is hidden, yet it endures, unshaken, unnoticed, and quietly everlasting. So she endures, through shifting seasons, through droughts and rains, through the comings and goings of civilizations above. Empires rise and fall, cities are built and broken, yet she remains, not as a relic, but as a quiet constant. She does not wander far from home. Her realm is close to the earth, and yet, in her short steps and tiny labors, she connects to something vast, a lineage of survival that stretches back millions of years. Long before plows carved furrows in the land, before scripts were etched in clay, she was already there, shaping the earth in miniature, one seed at a time. She teaches us, if we are willing to listen, that life does not need grandeur to be great, that strength can lie in stillness, that harmony can be found in routine. She does not race to grow, does not flaunt her strength, does not boast of what she builds. She simply continues. To watch Messor structor is to witness a form of wisdom, not in words, but in motion. A lesson spoken without sound, that purpose, when shared, becomes power, that survival does not demand dominance, but balance. And when you stand in the quiet of an open field and see a narrow path of ants cutting across the dust, know this. Beneath your feet is an ancient nation, one without flags or laws, but with a memory deep as stone and a rhythm older than the wind. That is her story, the harvester of the steppe, the keeper of silence, the architect of the hidden world. Messor structor. She has no myths written about her in old books. No temples were built in her name. And yet, if the soil could speak, it would whisper her praises, for she has walked it longer than we have, touched it more gently, and shaped it in ways we rarely notice. Her nest is not carved from stone, but from effort. Each tunnel, each chamber, is the result of thousands of journeys. Ants carrying grains of sand, pieces of husk, fragments of leaf. No machine could match the precision of her movements. No map could chart the intricacy of her underground world. And yet, she needs no plans, no blueprints. She carries the design within her, not in thought, but in instinct, passed down through generations of quiet labor. There is something deeply humbling in that. While we build monuments to our own greatness, she builds simply to survive, and does so with elegance. Her society does not tolerate waste. No one is idle. Even the smallest among them has a role, a place, a meaning. And that, perhaps, is why they endure. In times of plenty, she works harder, not to indulge, but to prepare. In times of hardship, she retreats, conserves, endures. Never panicked, never still. Always in motion, always in balance. And then there is the queen. She is not crowned. not revered with song or ceremony. She lies deep in the nest, often unseen. Her body is larger, her life longer. Her task is not to rule, but to give life, continuity, purpose. She is the silent heart of the colony, and her presence is enough. Around her, the nest beats like a heart. Workers bring food, care for the young, clean and repair the chambers. They do not need to be told what to do. They know, because they have always known. There is no confusion, no dissent. Not because they are mindless, far from it, but because they understand something we often forget, that the good of the whole depends on the steadiness of each part. If a predator threatens the nest, soldiers rise to meet it. Broad-headed, strong-jawed, they stand guard at the entrances, fearless and silent. If disaster strikes, flood or collapse, the workers rush to save the brood, to dig new passages, to begin again. There is no lament, only resolve. It is this resilience that makes her remarkable, and still, she is not alone in the world. Other colonies surround her, sometimes kin, sometimes rivals. And though she does not seek conflict, she will defend what is hers. Battles between nests can be brutal, waves of ants crashing against one another, grain by grain, body by body. But they do not fight for conquest. They fight for survival, for the integrity of their world. Beyond her battles and labors lies a deeper truth. Messor structor is part of something vast. She is woven into the fabric of ecosystems. Her seed gathering stirs the soil, her tunnels aerate it. Her stored food feeds not only her kin but, eventually, the land itself. In her unseen work, she prepares the ground for life above. And when her time ends, when the colony fades and the tunnels fall silent, the earth forgets nothing. It holds her memory in its texture, in the way it breathes, in the quiet hum that lies beneath the roots of things. She does not leave monuments, but she leaves balance. She does not leave stories, but she leaves rhythm. She does not leave names, but she leaves legacy. And so, when we speak of Messor structor, we are not merely speaking of a species of ant. We are speaking of an ancient thread that runs through time, steady, quiet, unbroken. A life lived without vanity, but with perfect purpose. She reminds us that greatness need not shout. It only needs to endure.